everyone, welcome back to my third vlog. Tonight, I am taking you on a peaceful nighttime ride to one of my favorite coffee shops. The city looks different after dark, quieter in some areas, but still alive with lights, sounds, and stories waiting to be told. As I ride through the streets, I want to share with you an interesting story that happened to me on a similar night drive not too long ago. A night ride through the city. The streets at night have a different energy compared to the daytime. The traffic is lighter, and the usual rush of morning commuters has been replaced by people winding down from their day. Neon signs glow softly, reflecting off the wet pavement from an earlier drizzle. I pass by street vendors still open late, serving bowls of steaming noodles and cups of hot tea to night owls. The air is cooler, and the wind against my face makes the ride even more enjoyable. As I turn onto a quieter road, I remember a particular night when I took this same route and experienced something unexpected. The story, a mysterious encounter. It was about a month ago. I was heading to the same coffee shop, just like tonight, when I noticed something unusual. As I slowed down at a red light, I saw an old man sitting alone on a bench near the sidewalk. He was wearing a simple white shirt and dark pants, his hands resting on a wooden cane. At first, he just seemed like any other elderly man out for a late night walk, but something about him felt different. He wasn't looking at his phone like most people, and he didn't seem in a hurry. He was simply sitting there, watching the world go by. Curious, I glanced at him again, and to my surprise, he gave me a small nod and a smile. When the light turned green, I rode off, but the encounter stayed in my mind. That night, after getting my coffee, I decided to take the same road back, hoping to see him again. But when I passed by the bench, he was gone. Tonight is a little different. I am sitting here at my favorite coffee shop. Sipping on a warm drink. And watching the world pass by. The camera is set still. Facing the road. Capturing the glow of streetlights. The occasional passing car. And the quiet hum of the city at night. The man who walks at midnight. There is a particular figure that appears on nights like these. Or so they say. A man, always dressed in the same slightly worn-out coat. Walks along this very street every night at exactly midnight. No one knows where he comes from or where he is going. Some say he is just a regular old man who enjoys a nighttime stroll. Others, however, believe there's something mysterious about him. A friend of mine once told me he had seen the man multiple times.
Như cái ban đêm này, như cái ban.
One night, out of curiosity, he decided to follow him just for a few blocks. Nothing too serious. But the strange thing was, no matter how fast he walked, the old man always seemed to stay the same distance ahead. He never turned back, never slowed down, never sped up. My friend followed him for about 10 minutes before suddenly losing sight of him at a corner. Confused, he turned around to head back home, only to find the same old man standing right across the street. Looking straight at him. My friend swore that at that moment, he felt an intense chill run down his spine. He quickly turned away and walked home without looking back. Since then, he has never followed the old man again, but from time to time, when he's out late, he still sees him walking at the same steady pace, disappearing into the night. The coffee shop that only opens at night. There's a legend about a hidden, somewhere in the city, one that only appears after midnight. They say if you wander through the quieter streets, away from the bright neon lights, you might stumble upon it. It has no sign, no grand entrance, just a dimly lit doorway with the faint scent of coffee drifting out. Those who have found it describe it as the most peaceful place they've ever been to. Inside, there is only a handful of tables. A single barista behind the counter, and soft jazz playing in the background. The menu, always the same, a cup of black coffee, a small plate of biscuits, and nothing more. But the most intriguing part isn't it itself, it's as the people who sit inside. Some say they are travelers from different times. People who don't belong to any one particular era. They speak in hushed voices. sharing stories that don't seem to fit into the present world. And then, as the clock approaches 10 a.m., the slowly fades away. Those who have visited it claim that if you ever leave before finishing your coffee, you'll never find it again. But if you stay until the very last sip, you might just be lucky enough to return. The taxi ride that never ends. A few years ago, a taxi driver shared a chilling story that still makes me uneasy whenever I think about it. It was a normal night, just like this one. He had been driving through the city, picking up passengers and dropping them off. Round 8 a.m., he stopped at a quiet street corner when a woman waved him down. She was dressed in an elegant but slightly outdated dress. The kind you'd expect to see in old photographs. She got into the back seat and softly said, "Take me to the old district." The driver nodded, started the car, and began the journey. But as he drove, he started noticing something strange. No matter how far he went, the buildings outside never seemed to change. It was as if he were stuck in the same stretch of road, driving endlessly without reaching a destination. After what felt like an eternity, he glanced at the rearview mirror only to find the back seat empty. He slammed on the brakes. His heart racing. The woman was gone, but her voice still echoed in his mind. Take me to the old district. The next morning, he told a fellow taxi driver about what happened, expecting him to laugh it off. But instead, the other driver simply nodded and said, "You're not the first, and you won't be the last." Since that night, he never picks up passengers from that street corner again. A quiet night, a city full of stories. I sit here, watching the road, letting the city's quiet hum fill the silence between these stories. Maybe they were just a myth. Maybe they were real, who knows? But I like to think that every city, every street, every quiet little has its own stories, waiting to be told, as cars pass by under the golden glow of streetlights. I wonder how many of the people inside have their own untold stories. Maybe some are heading home after a long day. Lost in thought about something that happened years ago. Maybe others are on their way to meet someone. completely unaware that tonight will be a night they'll never forget. That's the beauty of the night, there is always something happening. Even in the quietest corners of the city. So tell me, have you ever had a strange experience at night? Have you ever seen something that made you question whether it was real or just your imagination? If so, I'd love to hear about it. For now, I'll finish my coffee. Take one last look at the street. And pack up for the night. But who knows? Maybe on the ride home. I'll have a story of my own to tell. Thanks for joining me on this late night vlog. See you in the next one.